What is up, guys? Dr. Senpai here, and wow, I got back from Black Panther, and damn, that was a good MCU movie. Well, all of them are good, but this one I think stood out a little bit more. It stood out a lot, compared to Thor Ragnarok. And I think the last MCU movie that came out, this one was more refreshing. It's just Thor. I liked Thor Ragnarok a lot. It's just Thor Ragnarok felt like Guardians of the Galaxy, which it really shouldn't have been. It's kind of boring and a little annoying, kind of. But nevertheless, most of the MCU movies are pretty damn good. But this one meant a lot to people. It was I've had some arguments about it where it's not like, why is it such a giant big deal that it's a black superhero? There's black superheroes everywhere. But I kind of had to realize myself. It's like, yeah, it's because I read comic books. Not everybody knows that there's a ton of black superheroes. That's why when they see the superhero movies, they don't have to read the comic books because they see the movies, get the gist of it. And I was like, wow, this really does mean a lot to people. Like, really, Black Panther, this movie meant a lot. And it deserves the hype, I say. This movie was really good. I really liked it. Pros about it, it definitely felt different than most of the MCU. Thank fucking God. That it didn't feel like, oh, this is a connected universe, which we know it is a connected universe, but they didn't have to remind us every 8 seconds. Everything, it was, a part of something. Like Spider-Man Homecoming was really good. Problem with Spider-Man Homecoming was it again, we know this is a part of the shared universe, so we have to include Iron Man in here to get the people to watch, which people would watch a Spider-Man movie anyway. But it was just I guess refreshing that we finally this is a different MCU movie, and I can see MCU movies becoming better now. This is the start of MCU movies being amazing instead of just good or awesome. I enjoy a lot of superhero movies, but this one, it just felt a little bit different, This movie explored Wakanda, the city of Wakanda. It felt more, self-contained within Wakanda. They branch out to New York a little bit sometimes, but it makes more sense within the story. Good world building. We got, to see there's a bunch of different tribes of Wakanda, and how they share this vibranium. Some don't share the vibranium, but the vibranium felt important in this movie because it is for Wakanda. Vibranium is pretty much where Wakanda is pretty much where vibranium comes. That's where everyone comes and gets it. It's really it was just really cool just to see the kingdom of Wakanda, the people of Wakanda. They have it. Most of it was actually pretty damn comic accurate, I have to say, about Black Panther's origin and how he does it. It's the whole thing about the heart-shaped herb that he has to digest in order to get the powers of the Black Panther, and he has to fight some of the strongest warriors from a tribe, whoever challenges for the throne. That was great. I love seeing that. This movie also looks really good. Eric Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan, is fucking amazing. I've heard that from a lot of people, and frankly, yeah, he's pretty damn good in this movie. He plays Eric Killmonger. Or Eric Stevens, when they talk about it in the film. Spoiler alert. Click off now, I guess, if you don't want to know too much about this. It's kind of, simple spoiler, but it's about Eric Killmonger. They revealed really interesting about his character is he was, in this version, this is not like the comic books, really, at all, how they kind of did. I mean, it's similar, but not exactly. Eric Killmonger in this movie is actually T'Challa and his sister, Zuri, I think is her name. Fuck, I already forgot the names. I know T'Challa and Zuri. T'Challa is the Black Panther, and his sister is like the tech developer at Wakanda. They have a cousin who is Eric Killmonger. He was raised in America because they said his father, who was the uncle of theirs, the younger brother of T'Chaka, the Black Panther before T'Challa, went to America to find his brother. He sent a spy to hang out with his brother, and there's a whole thing about, he was trying to sell weapons and everything, and sell Wakandan stuff to Claw, Ulysses Claw, who is a pretty big Black Panther villain, the guy with like the sonic hand cannon and everything. He was in this movie too. In fact, he fucking died. Spoilers. He did die in this movie. We're not going to see a lot of Claw, but basically, the brother of the king basically sold some vibranium for weapons to, expand Wakanda's ground, because Wakanda is very tribal based, even though they're pretty advanced, because they saw in the past of like America, the rest of the world, that they're all just violent savages. So Wakanda's like, we're just gonna stay in the background and watch from the shadows. Fuck you guys. And the brother was trying to, expand the territory a little bit, expand the horizon. And when he tries to do that, he's revealed that he's been a traitor of Wakanda, so his brother, King T'Chaka, kills him. And he was the father of Eric Killmonger. Eric Killmonger set out for a quest to go back to Wakanda and take back the throne and continue his father's work, kind of, as, spreading the influence around the world, make sure, other black kids like him who grew up in a shitty neighborhood, because there's a whole thing about he was never taken back to Wakanda to be raised by, T'Chaka and the rest of the family, and be a part of Wakanda because he's of Wakandan blood. So he has the right to take the throne. So that was this whole thing about the movie. And T'Chaka was unaware of this, and it's kind of like the movie is a lot based around, the sins of the father or the sins of the past, where from now on T'Challa is going to try to, fix it. So stuff like that doesn't happen again. And it was really good, I liked the villain. I liked T'Challa. He was really good. He showed up in Civil War, which is really cool. And, it just, the whole cast is pretty fucking great, and a lot of the Black Panther comic book knowledge and lore was placed into the movie. So it was, it was just really cool, guys. So, yeah, Black Panther, definitely check it out. 9.5 out of 10 for me. Really beautiful looking movie. Good action, by the way, too. Good action. Not a lot to complain about that I can really list or I have problems with, but I mean, yeah, there's just not a lot of negatives I can really think of. It was pretty good. So definitely check it out. 9.5 out of 10 for Black Panther. Go see it if you haven't. It really deserves the hype.